you want to know my opinion and what I think, just keep on watching. Hey guys, what's good? It's your girl Nisi here, and I'm back with a new video. And I want to give a huge shout out to my new subscribers and my remaining ones. Thank you. Keep sharing and liking up the video, and make sure your notification bell is on. Guys, the heat wave is back in the UK. It's continuing. We've got another week of just the hot sun, so I'm trying to enjoy. But yeah, guys, for today's video, as you already know by the thumbnail and the title, I'm going to be speaking on Nelly and Ashanti. So basically, they have a new reality TV show. So, quick backstory: they dated way back in, I want to say, like the mid 2000s. They broke up for like probably like maybe like a decade plus years, and then they reunited, got married, and had a baby. Listen, some people say Nelly spanned the block, some people say Ashanti spanned the block. Listen, watching this new reality TV show of them, it doesn't put them in a good light. And I mean, like their relationship, their marriage, it's very one sided. So she's from New York, he's from St. Louis. They've had this baby now. She wants them to up and leave St. Louis. So I think they're in St. Louis at the moment. She wants them to up and leave and move to New York, all her family, friends, yada yada yada, businesses there. And he's like, no, like I told you this before we got married, before we had the baby, I'm not moving. It makes more sense for Nelly to be in St. Louis. And Nelly has kids, but his kids are grown. He's actually a granddad, which is mad. You know what I mean? So, Nelly's got a lot going on, while Ashanti, this is her first baby. And shout out to Nelly. First of all, he's a great dad because he took on his sister's children. Sadly, when she passed away because of cancer, he took on his nephew and niece as his actual children. So big ups to him, first of all. Nelly is 50. Yeah, keep that in mind. And now he's got a newborn baby. Like, fam, I'm in my 30s. I do not want no more kids. I've had 4 children. I do not want any more like children. Like, I'm good. So I can't imagine being 50. I don't care if you're a woman or a man and doing it all over again. So Nelly's kind of told Ashanti, listen, the changing nappies, the feeding, that's on you. When their son can talk, he's gonna be with me. You know what I mean? And people are just like, wait, what? Wait, like what? Like this is your child. But again, there's so many women that are in marriages like this. So people are basically calling Ashanti a single married woman. Like that title is just mad on its own. But yeah, I'm gonna roll the clip that had a lot of people like, wait, what? And I will be back with my commentary.
A lot. Well, listen, it's all you. I ain't gonna even lie. You know, I ain't got nothing for him. Absolutely not, I know. Until he can say, I'm hungry. Until he can say, I need to use the bathroom. It's gonna be a lot easier. But as soon as he started walking, I told him, I said, enjoy. Because as soon as he gets to walking and talking, he with the crew. I'm trying to understand, how is it that you just sleep through when he starts crying? Do y'all really be up at night? I heard about it. You know what? It's absolutely ridiculous that you a lot. Well, listen, it's all you. I ain't gonna even lie. You know, I ain't got nothing for him. Absolutely not, I know. Until he can say.
Yeah, guys, so you just saw that. Like the fact that he's like, I ain't got nothing for you until he can speak, says he needs to go to the toilet, everything's on you. And she's just like, I know. Like you can already tell she's tired. And even say him saying like he doesn't wake up through the night when the baby's, stretching his little young lungs. He's like, is that real? Like you women really get up in the night and change them and feed them. And it's just like, yeah, like, shout out to my baby daddy because he was hands on. He changed nappies. He woke up like we took shifts. Because remember, this postpartum, like once you've had the baby, you're bleeding, your breasts are filling of milk. Like, there's a lot of changes just with your body alone. You're tired, you know what I mean? And this guy's like, oh, is that real? Like, you really wake up in the middle of the night? Like, Nelly, come on. This is not your first rodeo. This is not your first child. With Ashanti, obviously, she wants to be hands on because this is her first baby. Like, come on. This is crazy. But again, he's 50-year-old. He's welfare, like, because he has suggested getting a nanny. And Ashanti's like, no, like, I want us as the baby's parents to, you know what I mean? Be parents. Like, So people are like, Ashanti, you shouldn't have gone back with him. In the past, he never really claimed her. Like, we didn't know they were really dating. He's cheated on her. Listen, my baby father, we broke up, got back together so many times. Now that I have a daughter, I have one daughter. Once she breaks up with that guy, I wouldn't suggest getting back with him. Like, people, like, exes are an ex for a reason. So I would never suggest, yeah, spin the block. Like, give it another. No. I don't care how much you love them. No. You know what I mean? But yeah, let's get into some people's reactions.
See that Ashanti and Nelly shit? That's the reason why I'm pro-choice. That's exactly why I'm pro-choice. Nelly told Ashanti that he will not be changing any diapers. He will not be taking care of the baby until the baby can walk and talk on his own. Because that's ridiculous. That is honestly ridiculous. He said prepare to basically be a single mama. After having a baby, I realized that a lot of y'all don't need to have babies. Y'all just don't. Y'all just don't. And Nelly like 40, bruh. He like 40. And he told his homeboys this too. And his homeboys just like laughing. Like nobody even said, nigga, you don't think that's weird? He talked about how he sleeps through the night when a baby's crying. You don't even get up. Like y'all, like ladies, this is why I be trying to tell you, hey, do not have a baby. If you got second thoughts about that nigga, please believe that second thought and just go to the clinic. These niggas are terrible, bro. Until you actually have kids, because people tell you like, hey man, it's hard. And you be like, okay, I'm prepared, I'm ready, like cool. But it's not, but it's harder than what you expect. It's different. And only people with kids understand, man. Niggas said, niggas 40, bruh. Niggas basically said, I'm not doing shit. Niggas don't want to be a dad. Niggas don't want to do nothing. Like, ladies, just be careful who you get pregnant by. Just be careful, honestly, bruh. Just be careful. Like, oh my God, oh my goodness. Just niggas be 40, bruh. Niggas be 40.
Listen, shout out to that guy, and I love to hear it like from a male's perspective and holding these dusties. Because right now, Nelly, you're giving Dusty energy, holding these dusties accountable. Like even he's like, he seems so tired. He's like, women, I get it. Why you're at the clinic? Why you're taking the plan B? I get it. You know what I mean? Some guys are just good for a good. You know what? That's it. You know what I mean? You're not trying to create life with them. You're just trying to have a good time with them. Like what? And I know he's like, oh, dude's 40, dude's 40. No, Nelly is 50. He was born in 1974. He looks good for his age, but he's, you know what I mean? He's old. And again, he's had kids previously, and he's just like, oh, Shani, I ain't trying to do this all again. Waking up through the night, changing nappies. What? But no, it's really sad. Like, I don't know. Seeing them on the reality TV, it's like they didn't discuss a lot of things thoroughly. They were just caught up in the moment, like they were happy to be back together again, and you know what I mean. But she has always stated in interviews she does want kids, the family, and time's ticking. You know what I mean. And again, Nelly is 50, like. But yeah, I agree with what he said in his clip. Like, listen, one of my highest ranked videos on this is the 21 with no kids. If you've not seen it, do check it out. I blame it. Like, there's a lot of women out here who are refusing to have kids, and listen, I don't blame them. Even if you're in a relationship, even if you're in a marriage, you as the woman and as the mother, so much of raising the kids fall on you. But shout out to the single dads because you know what I mean. I see you guys doing your thing. I know a couple in real life, like, and they see it when they're a single parent. They're like, like I don't know how you women do it. You know what I mean? We just have to get on with it. You know what I mean? Like, you know what I mean? We have no choice.
I'm going to say this. Ashanti settled for Nelly. She settled for Nelly because there is absolutely no way that she, Nelly, her mama, or whoever else is going to sit there and convince me that sis is actually happy being with him, because you're not in a real marriage, or it seems like a real cohesive partnership where both of y'all are doing work in the relationship. In fact, he barely participates in the relationship. He already ran down the rules and explained to her that when she have that baby, I'm not getting up in the middle of the night. I'm not changing Pampers or anything. This is supposed to be your wife. This is her first child. You ain't new to this. She is. And you can't support your wife during postpartum. Make sure she's well rested and getting her rest because the baby's already going to be attached to her. She's breastfeeding. And you can't get up to check on your child or to change diapers? You could tell that she was bothered in her response when she was like, I just think that's like kind of fucking, you could tell she probably wanted to cuss him out. I think that's kind of whack that you could just sit there and sleep through a crying child and not want to get up and get your own son. That's what she should have said. Nelly is a real piece of work. And it's like the audacity, because this girl settled for you. And I feel like in a way, it was because of what people were saying that made her say, well, I'm spinning the block. He's familiar. He's a familiar place. So I'm going to just land here, right? Because y'all was talking about her being in her 40s, living her best life and being child free. Like that was failures for her as a woman. Now it makes all the sense when her sister had put out that like cryptic message about how, I guess, you know, the pressures of societal norms and like trying to fit into society with a husband and a wife and a that cryptic message her sister put out makes sense now, because now you get to see that this relationship is a mess, and I don't think they're going to make it. This is not going to be an everlasting marriage, because Nelly is about to run that girl into the ground. When I tell y'all, give it a year or two, and Ashanti is going to be looking haggard, because sis already look tired and depleted right now. Then the episode about the inauguration, and you get her mother sitting there talking about how her father was heavy in the civil rights movement and how he got back home to their town and was doing all this work. And it was like he just disregarded all that shit and said, fuck it, I'm still going to do it. I'm still going to do it. And you could tell that Ashanti really didn't want to. And she was like, well, you know, it's different from being a girlfriend. I'm a wife now. And as a wife, I would have looked at my husband and said, you must be outside your motherfucking mind if you think you about to get up there and do that motherfucking racist ass inauguration.
Right. That part.
Bending to social norms and constructs such as needing to be married, needing to be validated by a man so badly, is going to be the death of so many of us. Y'all know that challenge that was just recently going around. It's like every time I think about being in a relationship, I'm reminded of how I looked my last relationship. That's going to be Ashanti. That we are seeing the transformation, y'all. That's going to be, this man is going to drain sis out of all her fucking energy. When we look at how Ashanti was prior to Nelly, badass baddie. Body was T. Living her best life. Every birthday she said, I spent on an island. My birthdays, I was on an island every birthday. To now, barely making it. Barely being able to get up and get out of bed. Barely wanting to go and do a performance. Just looking tired and ran down. She is in a marriage all by herself. She's married. He isn't. Ashanti is married. Ashanti is married. Nelly is not. She need to divorce that man. Ashanti, please, divorce that man while you can. Get out now.
Yo, she said so much. Like, I don't even know where to start. I kind of agree in a way with the settling. We'll start from the beginning when she said Ashanti settled for Nelly. In a way, she kind of did. Like, and I feel like their relationship or marriage is one sided. They want, first of all, I feel like they both want two different things. Again, just the location. She wants to be in New York. He wants to be in St. Louis. Like, you know what I mean? Like, just that alone. Um, it's just sad again. He's had kids previously, so he knows about this. You know what I mean? It's not new to him. So it is sad that she's going through stuff and he can't support her more. And I was shocked when I seen the clip on their reality show when they were speaking on her granddad being so heavily in the civil rights movement. And Ashanti's mom's like, Nelly can't do this performance. Like, it just looks wrong, you know what I mean? And then he comes in. Obviously, at this time, they didn't know if he was going to perform. And then Nelly just comes in on the phone, like, I'm doing it. I don't care. I'm doing, like, he's hyped. He's happy. I'm going to perform for Trump. And Ashanti's mom and, you know, Ashanti just look at each other like, I can't remember what film it is. It's probably one of Tyler Perry's. Oh, it's Baby Boy. When Jodie's friend, when he's cussing out his girlfriend and her mama, and the mom wants to cuss him out so bad, and and the girlfriend's like, "Mama, don't do it. Like, just leave it." Like, he's proper going off, cussing them out, calling them the B word. Da, da, da. That's what it gave me. They both just looked at each other like, and I feel like as his wife, you should be able to state your opinion. Be like, babe, I don't think you should do this, you know what I mean? Like it goes everything that my family believe in. Like, you know what I mean? It's to do with beliefs, you know what I mean? Not all money is good money you get. I'm sure he got a nice bag, but still it's you know what I mean, not all money is good money. I don't care. Like have integrity, you know what I mean? You've got to stand for something. One of my favorite quotes from the great Malcolm X, a man that doesn't stand for something, you'll literally fall for anything, you know what I mean? And that's literally what just because he got a nice bag. Nelly's like, I'll do it. You know what I mean? And even with this show, if you're a true fan of Ashanti, she's always been private. So even with this reality show, Nelly's done reality TV before. I loved his program back in the day with him and his kids. This was his idea because he needs to basically get back in good grace with the black community. Because you know what I mean? A lot of people have kind of like cut him off. Kelly Rowland was like, you can't perform the Dilemma song, and that's one of his biggest tracks. You know what I mean? Like him performing for Trump was definitely not a good look. But yeah, pretty much everything she said in her, you know what I mean, her clip, I agree with. Now, with Ashanti settling, I do agree with that, and I do feel like she spun the block on Nelly. Like a lot of people say, "Oh, Nelly, you spun the block," but I feel like she went up to Nelly and was just like, like what you saying? Da, 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 da." Obviously, it would have been him asking her out first. Like I can't see her asking him out, but yeah, but she's always loved him. If you just look how they looked back in the day, you know what I mean. But I agree with what she was saying. Like before she got back with him, Ashanti was 10-10. She was a baddie. She was always on flights, always in a luxurious island somewhere. Like she looked good, you know what I mean? Body was everything. But she has always stated that she wanted kids. You know what I mean? Listen, if you're 40 plus, you have no kids, there's absolutely nothing wrong with that. Live your best life. Also, if you're married, you have a bunch of kids, live your best life. Like that's what I'm trying to do now. Just because I've got a bunch of kids, I love to travel. I try and travel like 2 times a year. Either way, you've got to live your best life. I do a trip with my kids, and I do a trip like a solo or with a friend. But yeah, but yeah, we'll see how their marriage. Like, I just feel like she's just gonna get run down. I can't see her divorcing him, and he definitely ain't gonna divorce her. So she might just end up in an unhappy like marriage. Like, but I definitely feel like he is a drainer. Like he's just gonna drain because just in these episodes of this reality show, most of the time her face is like, she's looking at him some type of way, and she just looks sad a lot. Like she doesn't really look like truly happy. And if you know anything about reality TV and marriages, just ask the women on Atlantic Housewives. Like all their marriages just like ended up breaking down after being on that show.
I'm pissed that Ashanti and Nelly even agreed to do a reality TV show. First and foremost, when Kevin Gates came and said, "Who I love, I don't discuss," I felt that in my soul because I got extra excited when my daughter graduated, and then I started posting her more and more and more. But prior to that, when I started realizing that I was receiving a lot of attention, I went and deleted so many photos of my daughter. I stopped talking about her. I stopped mentioning her in ways where it's like I just talked about her slightly, but not enough to where people would want to know more about my daughter, and about just my family. When my mom and them tag me in certain things, I untag myself and I tell them, I don't want people trying to figure out my life through y'all. I don't want y'all becoming a target for the dislike that people have for me. I don't want my daughter being disliked and dogged and disrespected due to how her mom feels or some of my strong points of views, because they would do that. They would go start bothering my daughter because, oh, we don't like her mom. And so when it comes to a relationship and a marriage, I don't know why we always feel like we got to put that out for like the validation of people, or like where we feel like we got to let people know about our super personal business. But I'm here to tell you, when I do decide to get back into a relationship, it's not going to be aired like people would assume it to be, because who I love, I don't discuss. And I'm pissed that
Nelly even thought that this would be a good idea, because we have to understand, people like the idea and the image of what love looks like, but people do not like the reality of what love really is and how challenging relationships and marriages really are. Like, if you're not just showing up picture perfect, people got so much to say about it. Auntie Sharon, Nelly's controlling. Nelly said he was not going to move to New York and leave his hometown in St. Louis. Nelly said he don't change diapers. Ashanti girl, that's red flags. You should run. It's like, there is always two ways to look at stuff. And one thing I noticed is that people are usually only wanting to see your relationship and your marriage up close so they can dissect what's not going right and what looks wrong. It's reality. If my husband told me prior to me having a child, hey, look, babe, I'm 50. I love you and I give you whatever. But man, I got enough kids. I know this your first kid. I'm all diapered out. Now, when my little dude get big enough to come run with me, I got him. But the baby stage, that one is on you. What is wrong with that? And I'm not saying that because I'm not even the type of woman to settle at all. I'm a very strong-minded woman too, but I'm a woman who knows how to observe and a woman who knows how to think outside of the box. If Ashanti has to be the primary caretaker for the baby, which most moms are, we love in a completely different way when it comes to nurturing a newborn baby. Most men don't like changing Pampers. Most men don't even like holding the babies because they don't really know how to secure the necks, the heads, that's not abnormal what he's saying. So why are y'all stretching that so far? Like, girl, you should have ran, girl, you settling. If the man says from 0 to 1, that one is on you, but I got him from here, then if you're going to marry that man, I guess you just got to trust that your man is going to have it from there. Most men are not really into the baby phase. Not to mention, a lot of things are going to make her upset. A lot of things are going to be more of an issue because she's already emotionally in her feelings. She's a first-time mom. So do I see something wrong with Nelly said? I mean, I guess I can get where y'all are coming from. But if the man has already stressed that to her, like, hey, babe, I'm 50, you know what I'm saying? The pamper stuff, I ain't on that. Now, when my dude get big enough, kids are gonna get 18 one day. So if a man is telling you, you know, that first stage is yours, but I got him from 2 on up or 3 on up, okay, fair exchange. The beginning part is on me. But when you get old enough to walk and talk, you going with your dad. What's wrong with that? For me, I'm always the woman that's trying to see what we can do to make things work, or I'm always trying to find the understanding and stuff. Whereas it seems like most women are always trying to find the problem in something, always trying to find the negativity in something, always trying to find something wrong. Something's always got to be wrong. When it comes to him relocating to New York, I get both parties. Of course, she wants to move where her support system is at. That is where her family is at, where her mom and them is at. I get it. She's a first-time mom. She wants to go where she can feel that support system. But as a man, if you already got your whole life established and you already set up in St. Louis, and you know that's where you can protect your family because you know that you know everybody in St. Louis and can't nobody make one wrong move, or you're going to have to answer to, obviously, he's the big dog of St. Louis. What's wrong with that? What if he just feels more like secure with himself in his hometown and where he knows people? What if he just feels like he can protect his woman and his child more where he's from? I'm not saying it's right. I'm just saying, why not look at it from that point? Why just be like, girl, he trying to control you. I wouldn't let no man. I mean, it's just trying to understand stuff sometimes instead of always trying to look for an issue in reality. This is reality. Of course, they're both going to want to stay with their people. But why are y'all never willing to try to understand it from an open-minded perspective? Why do somebody always got to be wrong? Why do something always got to be wrong? Neither one of them are wrong here. You are talking about two grown people who already had their own life and their own motion before they got back together. I respect the fact that Nelly was a man who told her what it is and what it's going to be and what it's not going to be. And it was up to her as a grown woman to see if she was willing to deal with the boundaries that he has set, the expectations that he has set. Like, I'm pretty sure they both told each other what their do's and don'ts are. And what y'all are witnessing is two adult people just trying to navigate marriage, trying to navigate first-time motherhood, trying to navigate a newfound relationship. And what they're trying to do is fit into each other's lives, and nothing's wrong with that. There's never going to be perfection on a relationship. So what y'all are looking for is for someone to y'all are basically feeling as though because she's the woman, he should basically do what she say do. Well, that's the mother of your child and your wife and your kids, so you should be willing to relocate and you should be willing to. No, there's nothing wrong with him already setting the boundaries. And guess what? Our good sis Ashanti rolled with those boundaries, and nothing's wrong with that. Neither one of them are the villain here. I just think with them trying to navigate so much new stuff, like the new relationship, the marriage, the baby, that's the part they should have kept private, because people are not here to really root y'all on. They are here to do exactly what they are doing, which is dissect y'all life. And guess what? Who you love, you shouldn't discuss. Keep some stuff private. Everything is not to be filmed and not to be with a camera crew behind you. I would have kept that off. I would have kept my family off the internet.
Yeah, guys. Jeez, was she preaching? I know that was a bit lengthy, but she was preaching. She looked so good in that green. Girl. But yeah, she told no lies. First of all, shout out to the Kevin Gates. I did a video on him recently with his wife at the time removing her hijab. So if you've not seen it, do check that out. But I agree with him. I do not discuss, like what is mine, like my love life, like it shouldn't be up for discussion or anything that's personal to you, your kids. What I mean? Defo keep them like offline. That's why I love Lauren London. Like if it wasn't for the passing of Nipsey Hussle, rest in peace, we never would have seen their son. You know what I mean? She's very private. Again, before this reality TV show, we didn't know much about Ashanti. She's very private. And even though they don't show their baby, which I rate, they're still showing their relationship. And like she said, people are going to dice it and pick it apart, and that's exactly what's happening now with me and my baby father. This is literally the reason why we broke up. So we were together 8 years straight, but I've known him, like we've been on and off for 14. He didn't want to live in the UK no more, so he was just basically like, I need you to move with me, and I said no, so we broke up. And now we're doing the co-parenting. So it's real. Like the fact that Ashanti wants to live in New York and he wants to stay in St. Louis, that can really break them up. You know what I mean? I don't know what the distance is to go to New York from St. Louis, but I feel like they should stay in St. Louis because, like she said, Nelly's basically the king of St. Louis. Like he runs down there, he's well protected, well connected. Well, we all know what New York's like. You know what I mean? I don't have to say too much. And I get it, her support network's down there, her family, her friends, like we get that. But again, I'm sure Nelly told you this before. He's got married and had a baby, just like he told you, like, yo, I ain't changing no nappers. Now with that, I think it's the way he's kikiing and Jermaine Dupri and his boys are there and he's like, I ain't changing no lap. For me it's the deliverance, he's joking about it. In real life, there's so many husbands and men that don't touch the kids, especially in that newborn stage, they're scared to hold them, to feed them. It's real. I love that newborn stage. That's my favorite stage. For me, when they start crawling and touching everything, that's when I'm like, take, what I mean? I hate that stage. But it's like she said, that boy is going to be a man someday, a teenager, and Nelly's got him from when he's 5 and upwards. So, because she's a first time mom, I know she's definitely going to enjoy those little moments. But again, when you want the break, that's when, what I mean, you need your husband to set up. But yeah, she made some really good points. I know she went off and she went a bit personal talking about her daughter, but yeah, when your kids achieve stuff, you want to show them off, on Facebook, Instagram, but not everyone's happy for you, so you do have to be mindful and careful. Even on my other YouTube, I used to post my daughter a lot, not like doing anything like me just doing her hair, just the simple stuff. But her dad, he was just like, yeah, he needs to stop all that because you just don't know what people are doing with the images, you know what I mean? But no, she made some really good points and I agree with a lot of them. And when she stated on not everything has to be black and white, like sometimes discuss, that breakdown, discuss, action, plan, you know what I mean? Like try and find a way, like you're married, you can't just divorce because you want to live in New York and you know what I mean, you want to live in St. Louis. Like even with my own situation, I was just like the kids can have the best of both worlds, can go to Nigeria every time they're off school, and then for the rest of the time, the remaining time they'll be in the UK. I didn't put my foot down. I was like, oh, I'm never moving to Nigeria. I was up for it. I just didn't want to move while he was moving, and he didn't want to do the whole like long distance relationship. So we ended it. I was like, that's fine. Like, but no, definitely starting a family, marriage, like yeah, guys, sorry about that. The mic went dead. Like, it's so annoying. Like, it literally doesn't tell me when it's like failing or the battery's low, but I have to just keep on checking on it. But yeah, Now I need to remember what I said in that last clip.
Ladies, I think there's a few lessons we could learn from Ashanti. With her new show going on with her and Nelly, they were in a conversation about where they're going to live. She wants to live in New York, he wants to stay in St. Louis. Throughout the show, you kind of see her light dim, her becoming more quiet, really trying to be a supportive wife, but really closing her throat chakra, not speaking up as much. And I think the lesson in all of this is really first and foremost, like, control the controllables and have hard conversations before marriage. Lust, love, nostalgic old memories are not enough. And for him, a man that already has multiple children already, for him to say the newborn stuff is her, and he won't really hop in until the baby is talking and can like say, I want to go to the bathroom, speaks volumes. I think this is the dream couple for a lot of Black women, a lot of women of color. They get a lot of fanfare. And I think there are some yellow and red flags. And I think there's also some key lessons to learn. I watched the show, and I think I'm going to do a series on this. But before I do, put in the comments, do you want me to do the series? Follow me. And also comment what aha moments are coming up for you in watching the show.
Not the nostalgic old memories. Because listen, they dated back in the day, mid 2000s, had that long breakup, and now they've got back together. And listen, she made some really good points. Listen, what are the yellow flags? All I know is red flags. She's like, there was some red and yellow flags there. I'm like, wait, what? Let me know in the comments below. I've never heard of yellow flags, but yeah, but no, she made some really good points. They missed the mark. They should have had these really serious conversations prior being married, being pregnant, you know what I mean? But again, she mentioned the lust, the love. They just got caught up in the moment by being back together again. And because they were apart for so long, they're catching each other up on life. Because again, when she dated Nelly back in the day, he had his children already. So, she's reconnecting with them. Like, it's a lot. And now we're here, you know what I mean? But no, she made some really good points. She talked about her chakra, her light being dimmed. I agree. Again, Ashanti, she's very private, but just watching it, you can see 1 minute she's so vibrant and so, laughing and then, she's making up her face, and then she goes very quiet and just not happy. You can just see it. Body language is everything. You can just see at certain points she's not happy. Again, when he's doing the performance, you know what I mean? Her and her mum, they gave the look. You can hear the big sigh, and she's like, yeah, I'm his wife. There's always like a but. She's like, yeah, Nelly's gonna do it, but you know, girl. But no, she made some really good points in her clip.
Nelly is worth $75 million in St. Louis. Ashanti is worth $5 million. From a financial aspect, it don't even make sense to uproot the family from St. Louis and go to New York. And if you ask me personally, I don't think it was Nelly who spent the block. I think it was Ashanti who spent the block. I think Ashanti seen him on stage and honestly was like, you know what? Nelly looking real good right now. And I don't think Ashanti is the most responsible person in the world. Okay. First of all, look at it like this. The whole move to New York, how is Nelly going to provide for them in New York? Let's think about it like that. Nelly is the provider of the family. He's worth $75 million in St. Louis. He don't have that net worth in New York. So what is he going to do when he gets up there? He's just going to uproot his business, leave his 4 kids down in goddamn St. Louis? Come on now. And then this is the thing with the whole Nelly saying that he don't want to deal with the baby in the morning. Yo, Nelly is 50 fucking years old. He's 50. I understand that every new mom wants to have this like beautiful shared experience with their newborn and with their husband or baby daddy, where they join in on the duties with the baby. But the thing is, like, he's worth 75 mil. How many times have you heard a woman be like, my man need to have this type of money, my man need to be doing this, my man need to be doing that? Bro, you can't have you can't have a 100% type dude. You know why? Because he doesn't exist. And when you start describing the motherfucker, he actually starts to sound like a female. You're just describing something that you are desiring and wanting. You're not looking at it from the aspect Ashanti married somebody who is 50 and is worth $75 million and has an established business in St. Louis. Why the hell does he need to go to New York? Why does he need to go to New York? Why does Ashanti need to go back to New York? So she's comfortable raising her baby? Why didn't you just go marry a New York dude and settle down in New York? Why get married, get all the way down to St. Louis, and then want to change the entire shit up? Don't women do that all the time? Don't women try to change men all the time? Don't women always try to come in and try to change the situation all the time, thinking they trying to leave something? Yo, you not Ashanti not even an alpha female. First of all, she's not even an alpha female. So the alpha females out there speaking on her behalf, she got a man. She got a man. Worry about your red flags, man.
Yeah, man, shout out to him. He made some really good points. Now, first of all, what I didn't agree with when he was just like, Ashanti's not even an alpha female. Sir, we're not gonna do that. In my opinion, I feel like she's an alpha female. You know, from coming from, little Ashanti, Murder Inc., features with Ja Rule, to being on her own, being independent, and still being out here to put out relevant music. She's still touring. Like, she's an alpha. Like, I would definitely give her that alpha. Listen, I didn't know Nelly was worth that much. Even if it is in St. Louis, that's still a lot of money compared to Ashanti, because Nelly's not dropped recent music, He still tours now and then, but not like Ashanti, you know what I mean? So I did think she was worth more than Nelly. So it just goes to show, I don't know if Nelly's invested in property or different things, the reason why he's worth that much, you know what I mean? 75 mil. I was like, okay, Nelly, we see you. But no, I agree with what he said. Like, it doesn't make any sense for them to move up New York. First of all, New York's a very expensive state to live in. Like, even though I'm in the UK, even I know that compared to living in St. Louis, like, it doesn't make sense. Are they wealthy? Yes, but at the same time, it's like, come on. And like he stated, okay, let's just say Nelly does pick up and leave St. Louis and goes up north to New York. To do what? Like, what's he gonna do? While if he stayed in St. Louis, all his businesses are there, his kids, grandkids. You know what I mean? Like he is the king of St. Louis. When you think of St. Louis, he put St. Louis on the map. You know what I mean? So I definitely agree when he's preaching about that. Like, that makes sense. You know what I mean? Now, when he said, "Oh, you females love to change your man," like, a man's got to be 6'5", the tall, dark, and handsome. He got to make over 500K per month. Like, okay, Nelly is the breadwinner in this relationship marriage. We see that, but let's not act like you men don't do it too. Like, I did a video on Pop the Balloon recently, and the man popped his balloon just because she had short natural hair. And it's just like, so it's not because she was ugly or maybe out of shape. It was literally just for her natural hair that grows out of her scalp. And it's like, you men will miss on a good woman just for the littlest thing. So him giving an example saying, "Oh, you females, when you get with a guy, you want to change them. Like, if she wanted to stay in New York, she should have got with a New Yorker." I agree with that to an extent. You can date anyone anywhere, but you've got to be mindful of where they come from and where they live. And the reason why I can speak from experience, because this is literally why me and my ex broke up, because he wanted to move out. He's moved out of the UK, and he was like, "Are you coming?" And I said no. I said I could leave the UK one day, but just not right now. And he didn't want to do the long distance relationship. So now we're just becoming the perfect co-parents. So you can date outside your state, your city, but you've got to be on the same level. But I definitely agree. If she really wanted to stay in New York so bad, she should have just got herself a Yankee. Like, just get a New York guy and call it a day. You know what I mean? So I definitely agree with that. But when he was like, "Oh, you females are always trying to change a guy," males do it too. Like, trust me, I've been in certain like relationships where a guy is trying to change me, and it's just like, I think he needs to get what you like. Like, listen, we're overpopulated. There's probably like, is it 8 billion people in the world? Trust me, there's someone out there who's perfect for you. No one's perfect, period. So you're never gonna get that 10-10 man or that 10-10 gal. But for him to be like, oh, you females just always want to change your guys. Like males do it too. So I didn't agree with that. And just the way he was talking about Ashanti, you could tell he's not a fan of Ashanti and he's all for Nelly, like, you know what I mean? But other than that, I agreed with what he said. Like, I agree. They should stay in St. Louis. Like, it doesn't make no sense of them moving up north to New York.
Nelly and Ashanti are a prime example of why you should never get back with your ex. Ashanti, you let this man play in your face the first time, toy with your emotions, cheat on you, use your money, financially abuse you, use your money for gambling to fuel his addiction. You left him. You left him. Began to flourish even more so. Let this man come back and impregnate you. After you carry him picnic for 9 good old months, the man turned around on national television in front of the world and told you he's not helping to change nappies. He ain't doing a goddamn thing until that kid can walk and talk. He wants no involvement. He even has the audacity to be jealous of the attention you give to that child. The child that you two created. You see, after God, fair men, Ashanti, even though you're married, you are a single mother in your own household. Just from watching a few clips of Nelly and Ashanti's show, We Belong Together, I've seen enough. And I believe that that show will be the demise of their relationship. Ashanti, get out while you still can before that man siphons all your energy, steals your beauty, keeps getting you pregnant, and then F's off. Yeah? Peace.
Yeah, man, she made some really good points, and I agree. I forgot about the gambling. So yeah, in it, she mentioned that she's had to lend some money to Nelly, and one time she rang him, and he's just like, "Oh, I just lost 100K," and it's just like, it's all fun and jokes until it's not. And even with Cardi B and Offset going through their messy divorce, Cardi B has stated that Offset's got a serious gambling like addiction or problem. You know what I mean? And it's just like, yo, like they're laughing, like she's laughing it off now, like, oh yeah, he's gonna pay me back, and it's just like this ain't a good look. Mm-mm. And then apparently he was joking about he's still got like 3 more payments for her wedding ring. Again, I don't know, like I don't know if it's like that's banter or if he's being like dead ass serious. But no, I agree. There's so many red flags just watching these little snippets, just watching it like, and even the title, but oh, Nelly and Ashanti, we belong together. No offense, it's quite corny. And no, you don't belong together. But listen, I do believe they're in love, but I just feel like they're just different people, and I feel like that's what happened with me and my ex. In the end, we were just too different, had different mindsets, even though we loved each other. Sometimes it you need more than love. You get. So she was making me laugh. Like before he takes all your energy, your beauty, she does want another kid, and he's like, "Nah, I'm good, B." So we're not gonna blame Nelly if she gets pregnant again. We're not blaming Nelly because Nelly has stayed. He's happy, you know what I mean. And even with this baby, I feel like he didn't want it, but again, she wanted the marriage, she wanted the family. He's been there, done that. He's 50 years old. People, I need to stress this. He's not Janet Jackson because Janet Jackson had her son when she was 15. Or Kenya Moore. Nelly is a 50-year-old man. He's trying to, his kids are grown. He's a granddad now. He's trying to, sit back and chill with his grandson. But no, I agree. She made some really good points in her clip.
Imagine a man gets on top of you with teeth like the Cheshire Cat and 4.5, 5, if we want to be generous, inches of nerve pumping all up inside of you. And this is the second go round. The nigga played in your face the first time. And then he gives you a baby, 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 baby. And then on national TV, he tells you, listen, you holler at me about this kid when he can walk and when he can say he ready to go to the bathroom. And out of the two of you, I think this is maybe his 5th time raising a child. He is the more experienced parent in his 50s. This ain't no young whippersnapper. It's an old nigga talking about he ain't changing no goddamn me. You're going to be changing his diapers. Huh? You're going to be changing his diapers. Did you hear what I said? And he ain't going to change the baby's diapers. First of all, niggas who get brush cuts and get they line on the side like that, I don't like it. That choice alone, I don't like how the discernment shows up. But imagine all that body on top of you, huffing and puffing and blowing your house down. And you want to talk about you ain't changing no diapers for your child, sir? You'll change Trump's diaper, nigga. I'm not pleased. I'm not watching that show. These are just the clips I've seen. But that's a nasty game. That's a nasty game. And then you let Ashanti get pregnant. We know how a woman's voice is affected by pregnancy. Ashanti can't lose no range. Let this be the last time you put a baby up inside her, sir. Her voice cannot be going down, baby, on the roller coaster. She don't. Mama has to keep what she has. And I love my sis. I just want to say that. Love her down. But bitch, that meme of that video of her singing Sweet Thing and her going in for that note, bitch, will forever leave me low. And that Tamar, she'll come in with a review when she was like, bitch, what note is Ashanti singing to where she has to look like that? Nelly, stop playing with my sister. Stop playing with my niece. You was not even all up in her guts. You were at the door of her guts, leaving your seed, and now you don't want to change diapers. Boy, fuck you.
Yo, was that personal? Or was that personal? Like, do you and Nelly have something going on? Like, what is going on? Like, whoa. Okay, first of all, I've seen Ashanti live, and y'all need to stop playing with her vocals. Listen, the mic was on. Now, with her expressions, can she overdo it sometimes? Yes, but don't play with my girl like she can sing. But yeah, the guy said, but you will change Trump's diaper. I'm sorry, like he had me clutching at that point. Like I did not see that coming. Like, what? Listen, he was going in a bit too much about them in the bedroom, but he told no lies. Like, what? 50 years old, and you're telling me that you're not changing our, not just our child diapers. Like, excuse me? Oi. I'm sorry, I'm still just shocked. Like, he went in. I've used his clip a couple of times in my video, so I do like him and what he has to say. But listen, shout out to all the men keeping him, you know what I mean, gathering him up and keeping him, holding him accountable. But I'm telling you, like, I wasn't ready for that. Boy, talk about gathering. This is what I mean. Gathered him up nicely. Like, boy.
All right, y'all. So let me tell y'all something. Nelly is devaluing Ashanti, okay? Let me tell you how I know, okay? Don't get on my motherfucking posts talking about, oh my God, don't be so negative. Let me tell you something, just like I predicted with Kevin Gates and Brittany Renner. Same thing, okay? Now, Nelly is devaluing Ashanti because, let's remember, we have to understand the whole story, the whole picture. Nelly's ex left him, okay? Miss Jackson, I think that's her name. She left Nelly. So you know what Nelly did, like most narcissists do? They go and get whatever supply has been waiting in the wings. That's whether she was in contact with him or not. Obviously, he saw something in Ashanti that was desperate enough for him to know that he can instantly get her back quick, okay? That's what he did. He got Ashanti, he got her pregnant, and he married her. And you know why he said, I wanted to marry her because I didn't want to make her baby mama. That was a slight at Miss Jackson, okay? That was a slight at Miss Jackson. Like, I have been with you all these years, and I never married you. So look, I'm going to marry Ashanti. Oh, she's better than you. That's how the narcissist is initially, okay? Initially, okay? Now, let me tell you what happens. One thing for sure is, if he wanted Ashanti back all those years, he could have had her, okay? It's just that he didn't see her usefulness to him until it came to his ego being bruised by Miss Jackson. All right, so now, people are saying that Ashanti never wanted to be on that show. I didn't know that. You know why he's putting her on that show and doing that very thing? Is because he's devaluing her publicly. Okay, he's killing two birds with one stone. He's devaluing her, and he's also showing Miss Jackson that he's devaluing her. Okay, narcissists do everything for supply. Okay, and supply can be different things. In his case, supply is his money. Is money. Okay, he did that show because he can kill two birds with one stone. He can get money from it. He can also devalue Ashanti, and also, no, three things. Also, he can show Miss Jackson, like, hey, I'm really, this ain't all that. You know what I'm saying? This is not that. You know what I'm saying? like, yeah, I was upset at first, and I was pissed off because narcissists, they're very hasty people. They do things out of haste. They don't have the ability of foresight. Okay, so his whole plan was, I'm going to marry Ashanti, and I'm going to make Miss Jackson jealous to where she would want me back. That's mostly their plan. That's their plan, okay? And I do believe that Miss Jackson was probably grade A. I believe she was grade A, because it's like you went and jumped into something from a long time ago, and then you moved fast. You didn't move out of love. You moved out of haste. You did everything hasty to prove to Miss Jackson, like, hey, I'm doing better without you. Oh, you left me, but now I'm going to pull up one of my exes. And narcissists know which exes are desperate. They know the exes that they can easily go back to. That's why they don't think about going back to them all the time. It's only when they need them. They shelf them for years, and then it's only when they need them. So what happened is Nelly, he's trying to spin a block on Miss Jackson. I promise you that's what he's trying to do. And it's so crazy because one person actually made a comment in my comments, and I was like, girl, I was just typing up, because I type up my TikToks before I started so I can remember. But yeah, she said the same thing. She was like, I bet you he's doing that. He's devaluing her because he wants Miss Jackson back. That's exactly what all of this is for. And what he's doing is he's blatantly telling Ashanti, like, bitch, I don't want you. You know what I'm saying? Like, he's showing her all the signs of a man that doesn't want a woman. He's using her for fame, and he's using her for clout. Her name. He's using her name to remain relevant, and he's using her for clout. That's why you see he's trying to jump. Do the inauguration for Trump. He's trying to be on a TV show. He's not doing that stuff because he wants. Ashanti is just sitting there like a little sad puppy, just going along with it. She probably realizes what she's gotten herself into, but like I said, she's not going to leave him because it's going to make her feel embarrassed. She's going to stay for as long as she can. She's probably going to stay, try to fix him, try to see if they can go to therapy, try to see this. But Nelly is embarrassing her. It's one thing to be on a reality show. You know how, like, sometimes on reality shows, when it comes to men who aren't narcissists, of course you're going to have like ups and downs, but he's blatantly degrading and devaluing her publicly on the show. He's not even trying to not. I mean, my thing is this: even if you're not going to change the baby diapers, why would you say this on a public show? Why would you try to go out and embarrass me on purpose? Why would you do that on purpose? It's like he's purposefully trying to embarrass her. So yes, he's devaluing her, and I don't think this marriage is going to last nothing. I don't think it's going to last over 2 years. 3 tops, but I don't think it's going to last over 2 years. They might be done by the end of this show. I'm telling you. Nelly's most likely cheating on her, and she probably has caught him cheating, but she's not going to say anything because she wants to stay, because she wants that fairy tale. She wanted that fairy tale so long that she went to a fucking ex from over a decade ago. Girl, you can't get nobody else? Fuck.
Boy. See, this is why I like using other people's clips and hearing their thoughts and opinions. I didn't even think about his ex or how she broke it down. It actually kind of makes sense, especially if he is a narcissist. Again, like a lot of people have said, like, you let this guy play in your face years ago, over a decade ago, and he's still, till today, he's still playing with you. Maybe, I don't know, maybe she just likes that about him. Like, I don't know what it is, because allegedly someone tweeted the other day, like, oh, they come across as a perfect married couple, but last like a week ago you were making me squirt. And I was just like, I'll roll that clip next. There's a guy breaking it down, but I'm just like, wait, what? So I agree with what she said. He probably has cheated on her. Everything's alleged, but you know what I mean? But she wants the marriage. She wants that black love. Like, she wants it to work so bad. But yeah, just the fact that they want to be in different locations, it's not gonna last. I'm with her. I think maybe 3 years max. Like, but yeah, I didn't even think about it with his ex, because it's true. Like, after he broke up, well, after his ex left him, he got with Ashanti so quick, and it's just, and then after that, it was his boom, 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 boom. You know what I mean? Back to back. And I agree. He just keeps doing little things to embarrass her. So even with him dating Ashanti, he came out saying, oh, he tried to holler at Beyonce before he got with Ashanti. And it's like, why does the world have to know that? So, you know what I mean? He just keeps doing little things to embarrass her. Again, there's nothing wrong with not changing the diapers, but why did you have to put that on national TV? You know what I mean? Again, he's just doing little things. You know what I mean? There's those. So you can only imagine what he does off camera. And I think he just does a lot of things and doesn't even think about her feelings, which I hate. That's a true narcissist. Like, he knew performing for Trump how that much that would hurt, her feelings, her family, her mom. it's deeper than, that just getting the bag or just you performing. Like, her granddad was in the whole civil rights, you know what I mean? But no, she made some really good points in her clip.
Can somebody please explain to me what's wrong with this new generation of jump offs? This is Nia Simone, alleged Nelly jump off. Tweets, he had me squirting 2 weeks ago, but to the internet, they the perfect couple. Now, as y'all know, Nelly Ashanti, they got a baby, they got a new show on the way. Been doing a press run for it. They were on the Breakfast Club, other sites. They look like a happy couple, as they should. But now the jump off slithers through the cracks to let herself be known. Now, I come from the era of people like Corinne Steffens, aka Superhead. Superhead wrote a book about her jump off escapades, but it was years after the fact. Shorty couldn't wait 2 weeks. You couldn't let the show premiere. Like, what's the end game? Are you trying to get a bag? Because that's not how to do it. That's not how you extort somebody. This is not the proper route to extortion. Like, what's the accomplishment? Because now he ain't gonna want to mess with you no more. So if he was buying bags and making you squirt, double win for you. Now he off you. Come on, man. The jump offs need coaching. I'm not the guy for it, but I wish somebody would get out there and start coaching these jump offs, because this is ridiculous.
Yeah, guys, so everything's alleged. I don't know these people, but yeah, I just had to share that just so you can see both sides, and I hope it's not true. And again, let's just say if it is, there he goes again, embarrassing this poor woman. And this is what I'm saying with certain relationships. A lot of them are one-sided. Like, you can tell she wants the whole, the traditional family, love, partnership, companionship, all that stuff, while he's still out here trying to do him. You know what I mean? Again, he's had kids from the past. He's a granddad now. He's 50. He's trying to chillax, turn up when he wants to turn up. So I just think they both want two different things. That's what I get from this reality show. You know what I mean? I bet they're not coming back with a season 2. Like, this is a grand opening and a grand closing. But yeah, it doesn't look good.
I think one thing that people are not pointing out about the Nelly and Ashanti show is that when people are done raising kids, they feel like they're done raising kids. I'll give you another example. Sofia Vergara did not want to divorce her husband, but she didn't have a choice because she was done raising kids. Her son was in his 30s and he wanted her to start over and have a newborn. She was in her 40s. She's like, I'm not willing to do that. I don't want to start over. I've already raised my son. I'm ready for grandkids. I'm not ready for more kids. Nelly is 50, and I'm not saying he's right or wrong. Like, there's really no, it is what it is, but he's done raising kids. And I think he loves Ashanti in his own way, and he knew she wanted to be a mother, so they decided to have a baby together with the understanding that he was not going to be hands-on. And since she is a first-time mom, it's easy to agree to stuff like that until the baby gets here. And then it's like, whoa, this is hard. Like, even with nannies, it's hard. You want the father to be present. You want the father to be hands-on. Not just men that feel this way. There's women too. It's all type of people that's just like, I don't want to start over. My kids are grown. I don't want to start over with the potty training and the diapers and the learning how to walk and talk. I don't want to do that all over. It's hard. It's hard work. And it's a commitment. And I just don't think she realized probably what she was signing up for. So
I don't think Nelly is wrong. Am I the only fucking person in America who's like kind of on Nelly's side with this whole Nelly and Ashanti show shit? Like, y'all being mad fucking weird and y'all being mad fucking unrealistic. Like, I personally believe Nelly and Ashanti are in love. I think they love each other, and I think they love each other a fucking lot. But there's certain things that he's not going for, and there's also certain things that she's not going for, and nobody talking about the things that she's not going for. Their middle ground is where they're going to live at, St. Louis or New York. Both of them have their reasons for not wanting to be in the other one's state. But the way that I'm looking at it, they're fucking married, and if your husband has to be over here to make his money, them dollars, them bands, that bag, we're gonna be in St. Louis, hun. That's where we're gonna be. We're gonna be in fucking St. Louis. She wants to be in New York, not because she has a business there, her office is there. She wants to be in New York because she's from New York. She was raised in New York. Her mama, her daddy, her grandma is in New York. But y'all are fucking wealthy. Anytime you want to see your mom fly her out, which we know Ashanti mama ain't going nowhere. Wherever Ashanti at, that's where her mama gonna be at. So either way, you're gonna be good. And then she talking about, well, St. Louis don't got my spices. Order them. Have Nana send them to you. I feel like it's not a big deal. And then with the whole, they like, well, where is KK gonna go to school or whatever? And Ashanti is like, well, if it was in New York, it would be great. That's her standing her ground as well. Nelly is also voicing his opinion, and he also said before she had a baby, before they got married, he told her then, I'm not moving from St. Louis. Now, if Ashanti got it in her head, that's my mind. I'm going to put that thigh out on him, and I'm going to do the Ashanti scoop, and he going to be like, oh, I'm going to New York. That's on her. He said he made it very fucking clear. And another thing, him talking about he not changing no motherfucking diapers. Y'all are completely skipping over the part where that nigga said, I'm rich. Please get a nanny. If my husband told me that, I got 5 nannies. I got substitute nannies. I got backup nannies here when the backup substitute nannies can't back up and substitute. Please believe me. The only thing is, this is Ashanti's first child, so and it's great. She wants to be up in that baby ass, and that's fine. That's her kid. But again, your husband said he don't want to wake up in the middle of the night, change no diapers. There's not, to me, that's not a big deal. And y'all are making it seem like, see, we told you, girl, he don't love you, he don't like you, he won't even get up and change the baby diaper. Some of y'all kids have never even seen their fathers. So let's just, okay, like these, we're talking about people who are in different tax brackets than us, and I feel like Nelly is valid. I don't want to be up with the fucking baby at night, and I have the expenses to not be up with the baby at night. That's just that.
Well, guys, you heard that. Some of y'all kids don't even know their fathers. Never met them, never spent time with them, never been looked after by them. Like, why? She told no lies. Like, misery loves company. So a lot of these women are miserable. But yeah, I definitely believe they love each other. I just think they want different things for their child, even for their marriage. Again, the location is crazy. Like with my baby daddy, he never stated he wanted to live in Nigeria, so that was never, you know what I mean, a location or moving was never a problem until, you know what I mean, things happened. You know what I mean? But he said from the jump, from when she got pregnant, yo, I'm never leaving St. Louis. And going back to what that guy said, she should have just got herself a guy from New York. So you kind of did it to yourself. But personally, listening to everyone and watching the clips, watching the show, they should stay in St. Louis. Ashanti's mama's been her manager, been following her around. Just fly your mum out whenever you can. And like he stated, I'm rich. He suggested getting a nanny, and obviously she wants to be traditional. She's like, no, it's my child. You know what I mean? So Nelly's like, all right, this is you. Soon as he's old, basically, as soon as he's 5 years old, then run him to me. But right now, the 0 to 5, that's the most important time in a child's life. Then he's like, when he turns 5, send him my way. But for now, this is on you, your mom, your people. You know what I mean? So, yeah. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below, guys. Do you see this marriage lasting? Do you think they'll have more seasons of their show? I think they're only going to do one season. Again, Ashanti, she's very private. I think Nelly's just done this just to get back in good graces of black people and obviously to get a bag. But yeah, guys, please like, comment, subscribe, and share this video. Stay safe, and I'll see you in my next one. Bye.